as the Black Student Involvement Grad Coordinator in MICA. If you don't know, that's the Multicultural Involvement and Community Advocacy Office. And I am also the Graduate Assistant for the President's Commission on LGBTQ+ issues. And it is really and truly such an honor to be speaking to you all about the opening up of the Rising Up exhibit, focusing on 100 years of student activism for justice and civil rights at the University of Maryland. Especially as a student in the Masters of Library and Information Sciences program and the Museum Scholarship and Material Culture Certificate program, I find that through the work I do with MICA, with the commission, and as a student, sits at a very interesting crossroads of being both witness to, involved in, and actively studying the kinds of activism that have given rise to this exhibit, to the many policies on campus affecting marginalized students broadly, and even to some of the very offices that we now work in or work with. As a student of the archive, and especially as a Black student of the archive, I know how the records that we collect, the exhibits we produce, and the stories we tell can be ways for people, for students, to formulate and sometimes debate notions of belonging, of quality, worth, of other social values and meanings. And this, broadly speaking, is the power for archives to define, to represent, to reproduce structures of belief and experience. And these are things through which we understand culture, we understand ourselves, and others within and outside of our campus community. And I also know from both being a student of the archive and working with student activists on campus, how the manifestations of the same power, and here, those with the most power and wealth, can dominate the field of knowledge so that the archive, our exhibits, our stories, serve not to enlighten, to educate, or to empower, but to uphold dominant, existing, twisted narratives of social order. And this is a social order that the archivist Howard Zinn tells us can perpetuate the worst of its values, legitimize its own priorities, justify its wars, perpetuate its prejudices, and apologize for its class order. These are things upheld by the normal functioning of our everyday, by the records we choose to collect, the students we choose to assist, by the funding we choose to give, by the simple act of remaining neutral and remaining professional. Thus, the choice for us working in archives, working with students, working for students, is not of choice of whether to be political or not. It is not about being professional or not. Our choice is to follow the going order, that is, to do our jobs, our work, within the priorities and directions set for us, or to promote those human values of equality, equity, peace, and social justice. The choice is whether and how to integrate our professional and academic lives with our humanity. And where else, besides the University of Maryland in College Park, at the opening of an exhibit on the upending of normalcy, the 100 Years of Student Activism, where else can diverse audiences converge at the crossroads of records, of archives, of activism, opinion, and background, to contemplate our relationships with one another and confront the complexities of normalcy and the uncomfortable truths they expose. So as you view this momentous exhibit, consider the ways in which we uphold normalcy, who our professionalism and neutrality serves, and how the history of student activism on this campus can teach us how to speak with humanity and empower ourselves and others to fight for what is right, not for what is normal. Thank you.